It's not just mine, his or her house. This is our house.
Hello, everyone. My name is Tyrone Lowe. This is my show, The Legends. I want to thank everybody that actually subscribes to my show and show me love all over the world. In the House of the Legends, I have a artist, and I believe that he's been around for a while. And in the House of the Legends, I give you Larry Braggs. What's going on, Larry?
Hey, what's happening, man? How you doing?
I'm quite well, man. So let's take it back a little bit. Like when you first started getting into music. Were you a child, or were you influenced by peers around you, or things of that nature?
Well, yeah, man. I actually started singing. We're going way back in the second grade, man.
Oh,
Uh,
wow. Okay.
I had a teacher in grammar school by the name of Mrs. Anderson, and Mason Elementary School in Chicago, Illinois. And man,
Hmm.
she got me involved in music, and from there, in the sixth grade, I
Hmm.
believe I did my first performance. I
Oh,
put a little
wow.
together for a talent show, but I was
Okay.
the only one in the group that could actually sing. you know.
Hmm. Oh,
So
wow.
we played the record and they did the steps and they were lip singing and I actually sang on top of the record, which is pretty cool, man. And then from there, I was singing in church anyway, all my
Right.
family sang actually in church, my
Hmm.
mother and my sisters and my brothers sang, but they didn't stay with it. One of my brothers played drums, but he didn't stay
Right.
with it either. But I just continued to sing, man. And then in high school, I joined the high school choir.
Okay.
And my high school teacher, Miss Dubose, who was a prodigy within herself, she was teaching high school at a very early age. She was
Hmm.
probably still a teenager when she started teaching high school, but when I got there, she was like, she was a seasoned uh, professor at the school. And she really took me under my wing, man, and I started singing classical music. I was classically trained. And
Oh,
I
okay.
went from high yeah, I went from high school to the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff, and I studied classical music under the professorship of Shelton McGee. He's passed on now, the late Shelton McGee. And then
Right.
from there, I graduated, my degree in music from UAPB. And I
Okay.
started out, man, I left home and I went to Memphis and hung out with a band called Fingerprint out of Memphis, Tennessee.
Okay.
And I was with them, man, just trying to hone my skills. And
Hmm.
we landed in Austin, Texas. You
Wow.
know,
Okay.
Austin, Texas, man, in like the mid 80s. I was young, right out of college. And
Hmm.
we started playing there. And I hooked up with a band called Trick Tracks out of Austin,
Hmm.
funk band. And so that's when Austin, man, was like high. The funk was like, there was bands everywhere, man. Austin was like just booming with like live music on every corner, every doorway. And
Hmm.
so then the band that Trick Tracks, I left that in the band The Business, which was Fingerprint. I started
Right.
playing with them. And that's how we started getting like some local recognition, man. People would come down and they would always say, hey, go see this band called The Business. And out
Hmm.
of that band, the keyboard player, Morris Hayes, became Prince's MD for like
Hmm.
18 years, played with Prince for 18 years. The
Right.
saxophone player took off and went with Kenny Loggins and played with a lot of people. The drummer took off and played with Sheena Easton and he auditioned with Janet Jackson, gigs like that. The bass player played
Right.
with Pam Bell for a second and they joined Maserati and things like that, man. And then all of a sudden I decided to move out to California.
Hmm.
And that was in 95 and I wind up hooking up with the band Tower of Power,
Right.
you know,
Okay.
on an audition, man. And I was in Tower of Power for 14 years.
Hmm.
And from Tower of Power, I went on and joined the Temptations after that
Okay.
for
So
five
you're
years.
affiliated with Lenny Williams as well,
Yeah, Lenny Williams was
because
he was
Lenny was part of Tower of Power.
yeah, Lenny was the second lead singer of Tower of Power. Rick
Hmm.
Stevens was the original lead singer. Well, there was one guy, there was Rufus Miller, but he didn't make the record for some
Hmm.
reason. He didn't make the record on the first record. Lenny Williams took over for him.
Right.
Oh,
Right.
I'm sorry, Rufus was on the first record. Lenny was on the What Is Hip record, and that's when Lenny got in Tower of Power. and he did
Oh,
a
I
couple
see.
with Tower and moved on to a solo career. And there
Hmm.
was a few guys after that, and then Rufus, a few guys after that that was in the band, and then I came along and
Hmm.
joined the band. And I stayed the longest as the singer, as the lead singer for the band, which was
Right.
13 years. And from there, I joined the Temptations after that, man. So it's
Hmm.
been a long ride, man. It's been fun. And
I
now I'm
see.
doing my own thing, yeah. So
So when in your heart did you really feel that you were actually going to influence yourself to take it to a whole different level?
my whole life, I wanted to be a singer.
Okay.
My whole entire life. But when I hit uh, Tower Power,
Hmm.
and that we call it the University of Tower Power, right?
Hmm.
When I got in that band, I knew that I had to really step my game up because Tower Power is like a staple when it's a band's band, you know.
It
It's a
is.
musician's band, you know. It's a horn band, but it's a musician's band because of the way we play, the things that
Right.
we do, how we approach music. They approach it completely different from any other band I had ever been in. So
Right.
that was school right there for me. So that's when I knew I have to really, really put my ears together and put my thing
Hmm.
together and keep up because now we're on a whole nother level. And
Right.
that's when I knew I was there in that moment.
So let's talk about some of the artists that actually influenced you at an early age to the point where you say, well, listen, I like the way they sound. I would like to sound something like that, or maybe just put my own twist into it.
Mhm. Yeah, well, you know, you're always trying to like mimic people when you're coming up.
Hmm.
Um, Charlie Wilson was one of the main guys I used to love to listen to and try to,
Right.
like
Hmm.
Charlie. And then in college, it was Peebo Bryson. You
Right.
know, Peebo Bryson was like, I had the same range. So I was always singing, Peebo Bryson tunes and talent
Hmm.
shows. Man, I won so much money in talent shows in college singing Peebo Bryson. He probably is looking for a check from me.
Oh,
You know?
wow. I hear you. Well, while you at it, I'm gonna give you my account and router number. Maybe you can hook me up too. You know what
Hey,
I'm
I do it. No worries, man. I do it, man. Everybody's looking for a hookup. So, I'm in. I'm in on helping,
I hear you.
That's my thing. So Peebo Bryson,
Uh
man,
huh.
like I said, Charlie Wilson,
Hmm.
early days, James Brown. I was a big Rick James fan.
Right.
I love Rick James. That's probably the first record I bought as a teenager was Rick James, you
Okay.
know. And
What would
so,
you say? What would you say your strongest type of music is? From gospel, R&B, things like that. Where
man,
would you feel most of your energy come from in those phases?
I'm a soul singer, man. I mean,
Oh,
I've
okay.
tried everything. I can do a lot of things. I can do the jazz thing some. I can do the R&B,
Hmm.
I can do the funk thing. But I figured out, man, I'm a soul singer, bro. And I'm
Right.
probably I'm probably one of the last soul singers around that really sings,
Hmm.
soul the right way. There's a lot of people that can sing. Don't get me wrong. I'm not being, putting myself on a pedestal or nothing like that. But
Right. Right.
but
Okay.
I come from that school where singing was very important when you have to learn the song, learn the melody, sing the melody first before you start with all 100 runs and all these ad libs. I'm that kind of guy. Even though I love what New Cats are doing, things like that. Neo, all those guys. But man, I'm a soul singer, man, and I sing from the soul, and I try to move people.
Right.
When I go see a singer, man, if it's not moving me, then
Hmm.
it's just pretty. It's
Right.
just pretty. If it's not moving me, it's not touching my soul. If I don't feel something, then it's just pretty. You know what I mean?
Right.
My
Well,
mother used to say, "You got to get
go
ugly to
ahead.
sing." You know.
Yeah. Well, what a phrase. Soul to me was kind of different when I was growing up because most of the soul guys that I listened to, they had original musicians around them. It wasn't
Right.
at a technical stage today, which actually made soul more authentic in a sense.
Yes.
Do you agree with that?
Yeah, man. That rhythm section behind you, and
Hmm.
they're pushing you, and they're like listening to you, and they're
Hmm.
playing with you. That's what makes it music, man. That's what makes that soul come out of the music. You
Hmm.
got a guitarist and a drummer and a bass player and a keyboard player that really, really plays together, but they're
Hmm.
listening to the artist at the same time. They're not just back there playing the songs and playing licks. You know what I mean?
Right. Hmm.
So like, you listen back to Al Green, stuff like
Hmm.
that, man. Otis Redding and all those guys. I mean,
Hmm.
Donny Hathaway. I mean, that's man, that Donny Hathaway, that's singing, bro.
Yeah,
That's
most
that's real
definitely. Yeah.
singing.
Yeah.
Even now, Layla Hathaway is, she's like on a whole nother level than all
Yeah,
these
she
singers.
is. Most definitely,
But
she is.
sometimes she doesn't get the credit. I mean, she's got
Right.
as many Grammys as Celine Dion.
Yeah,
But nobody knows that.
that's true. That's true. So, let's talk about your new. Tell the viewers about your new track and how did it come about.
Oh man, this song, Long Time Coming.
Hmm.
It was produced and written by my man Angelo Earl, who I credit for back in the day. Man, Angelo was that cat who always was on top of or a little ahead of everything that was happening, right?
Hmm.
So Angelo, man, he was back in like when I was young, like in the '90s. We were way ahead of the game, writing songs like D'Angelo before D'Angelo came out. But
Hmm.
we just never like got to that point, right, together. But he
Hmm.
was always a guy that could put a band together. He
Hmm.
can rehearse the band. He could write music. He always had his hand on the pulse of what was going on. And he
Right.
played with Barcades, and he's played with the Funk Brothers, and he's just a
Hmm.
cat man that can actually straight up put it together. So he and I always kept writing, and so we came up with this song called "Long Time Coming," and it's a
Hmm.
Southern soul joint, right? And
Yeah.
it's just a fun song, man. But it's not your typical Southern soul joint. It's got that
Hmm.
Memphis stack sound to it,
Yeah, it
or that,
does.
yeah, man.
Okay.
And it's really cool, man. So we really loved it, and we love playing this song, and I love singing it, man, because it's just a pure
But
soul song to me.
it took me back. And I got all the Stax Records collection from back in
Yeah,
the days.
yeah,
Isaac Hayes, the staple singers, and things of that
right,
nature.
right.
But what we're gonna do right now is we're gonna listen to Larry's track. He has a track called "Long Time Coming." You guys go out there, support him with it, buy it. Share the love with it. You know what I'm saying? And we'll be right back.
Thank you, brother.
For the love of house,
The dynamic
love
soul
of beats,
sounds of
for the love of
DJ
dance.
Tyrone Lowe. DJ Tyrone Lowe. DJ Tyrone Lowe.
That's nice, 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 nice,
DJ Tyrone Lowe. The dynamic soul sounds of DJ Tyrone Lowe.
It's alright, love. Love's alright. I must admit, I've been in love before. I've been down the lonesome road, ain't going back no more. You came along and brightened up my life. Now it's time, made up my mind, gonna make you my wife. Thought I told you, not a player, shot caller, high roller, girl, I'm not a water. Can't give you nothing but all of my love. Said I wanna tell you how I feel. I'm gonna be with you. Said it's been a long time coming. Hold on, wanna give my love back. Said it's been a long time coming, baby. Hold on, wanna give my love back. We've got to see eye to eye, baby. 'Cause if there ain't no trust in love, there ain't no you and me. I've been around and I have seen love's come and go. You're everything I need, and I love you so. I thought I told you, I'm not a player, shot caller, high roller, girl, I'm not a baller. Can't give you nothing but all of my love. Said I wanna tell you how I feel.
I got some fun people in the house tonight.
This is our.
And we're back. My name is Tyrone Lowe, and in the house of the legends, we have Larry Braggs. What's going on, Larry?
Man, it's funny, man. Someone sent you the wrong version, but it's all right.
Well, you know what? It's so. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Do you write and produce for other people as well?
Yes, I do. Yeah,
Okay,
I do.
let's
I
talk
try to.
about that. Go ahead.
It's just right now, I'm doing it for my son, and I've done some stuff with some people, and Misa Malone out of California. She's a singer, and just some people that we're writing for right now, man. We did a
Hmm.
group. I did a group called Lesser Evil. We did some stuff together. They got
Right,
a huge number coming out pretty soon. So, and then for myself most of the time. So,
right. This is very important. I usually ask my artists this question because I think it's very informative to other upcoming artists that's coming up. So, what would you actually say to the upcoming artists that's coming up right now, dealing with not only just the craft of the music, but the business aspect of it? Can you share some light on that?
yeah, man. I mean, first of all, be true to what you're doing.
Hmm.
Try to be creative. Don't just follow the trends of what's going on. I see a lot of guys, man, just following the trend.
Hmm.
8-bar loop, and then they just take that and just go with it. You got to do music, man. If you're gonna be a musician or a singer, do music that's gonna last, the test of time. Because right now, a lot of the music that's out there, even though it's good, you won't even remember it 10 years from now. It's not like the music from the 70s and things like that that were
Right.
made. So I
Hmm.
tell musicians, man, and please, please, pay attention to the business, because a lot of guys, they want the fame and they want the money and the notoriety, but they don't
Hmm.
realize the business of it is more important. Are you building something to last you a lifetime,
Hmm.
or are you just in the moment? And
Okay.
that's the problem with a lot of the stuff, man. So just please pay attention to the music, but learn the business of music. And that's the first part, the business of music and the
Hmm.
music industry, because it's changed so much, you
Right.
know. And
Hmm.
now, like with the mechanical royalties and all that, man, the streaming, the money, even though they're trying to get more money from streaming and things like that, it's really tough. You can have what, 2 million spins and stream and get what, $25. It's crazy.
Yeah,
You know,
I've heard a lot about that. You know.
yeah. So that's the problem, man. We got to keep focusing on getting the rights to the music and making sure that we get what's due for all of this art that we put out. And then a lot of guys are telling me, "Oh man, it's art." A lot of music is art. Music is it's art, but people don't look at it as a piece of art on the wall. They want something that's going to move them and put them in a memory later on
Hmm.
in life. You know.
Okay. So let's talk about some stage performances. I know you're on tour right now, and how's it going as far as your
It's
tour is
going good
concerned?
right now, man. Right now I'm on a little break. I just did the thing out in. I just come back from California playing with a
Okay.
great saxophone player who played with Al Jarreau for like 12 years.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, Michael Paulo was Al Jarreau's saxophone player, along with Peter
Hmm.
White, who's an incredible smooth jazz artist. But right now
Hmm.
I'm on a little break on the tour because my son is going to college, and
Right.
he's a freshman. So I'm up here at the university, man, getting him all set up and getting him
Okay.
prepared to start school next month. So that's my joy right now. And then I'm back on the road like August 18th, I think I'm back on the road playing up in Richmond, Virginia at a festival. And then after that, I'm back in California doing another show in Coastal Wine Festival up there in Temecula, California. And then we're just moving along, man, and trying to
I
get
hear that.
another single out pretty soon. Yeah.
Okay. Um, I know I live day by day. I don't know how you lived it, if it's day by day or whatever, but how would you see yourself at least 5 years from now? And, or what would you like to see as far as yourself, as far as accomplishments and things like that?
I've accomplished a lot of things with the groups I've played with, man.
Hmm.
With Tower Power and the Temptations, and playing with Marcus Miller and David Sanborn, Bob
Hmm.
James. Those. but I want to accomplish something now as this solo artist that I am. You
Mm-hmm.
know, maybe even just if it's not even a Grammy, but a Grammy nomination.
Mm-hmm.
The Grammy nice to get the nomination, and just make Larry Braggs a household name as a solo artist, not just as the singer that helped pave the way for some other guys. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I see. Oh, that's pretty cool. I mean, there's a lot of people out there that's influenced by other artists to the fact, but they don't know how to go about it or really try to appoint themselves to it. I see some artists that are afraid to really ask questions, and I think that's a red flag. I think they should be free as far as being conscious of knowing what they're really getting themselves into.
Oh man, you
And
have to know
so
that.
anything you have to say about that?
Sometimes you want to know what you're getting yourself into, and
Mm-hmm.
sometimes you just have dumb, stupid luck,
Mm-hmm.
which is a part of it, man. But the blessing, just you got to be spiritual.
Right.
If you trust in
Exactly.
God, you say you got to trust He's going to make a way for you,
Mm-hmm.
and you got to keep asking for it. You just can't say, "Hey, I want to do this." You have
Mm-hmm.
to write it down. You got to live it. You got to be involved in it, man. You got to be hungry for it every single day,
Right.
and
Right.
don't don't be afraid to ask God for it 7 times, and
Okay.
you just get it, because
And
God
that's
only
heavy.
has
That's heavy what you're saying. I hear you. Go ahead.
God
Mm-hmm.
only has 3 answers, man. Yes, no, and wait.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I
I
mean?
hear that.
But while you're waiting, you got to be praying. You got to be diligent, and that's what's going to get you through.
Have you ever considered doing any acting or anything out of your league right now, or have you
Oh
considered?
yeah, I've done a few acting things, man.
Okay.
Earlier, a couple of movies. I did some extra stuff, and I did some cameo appearances in a couple of movies. They were
Mm-hmm.
older movies now, man, but that's always on the table. I would like to go back and do. I did some theater work. I would like to
Okay.
go some more theater work at some point. I'm
Mm-hmm.
sorry, some phone's ringing in the office over there. I'm
That's all
sorry.
right. It's okay.
Yeah, and so I like to go back and do some more theater work and get involved in some more commercial work, man. Doing some jingles and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
So, and just do some more studio albums with people, be guests on albums. I would really like to work with an artist like Sting. You know,
Okay.
but always want to work with him, man. So I would still like to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So looking forward to doing a lot of things, man.
Okay. Have you been to the UK?
Yeah, man, a lot.
Okay. And let's explain something because I know the love they have in the UK compared to the love they have here is really different. Do you see that as well?
Yeah, man. It's a sad but joyous thing at the same time because people in Europe and other countries, they're fans of live music to the point that, hey, we're just a fan of live music. And
Right.
they'll give you a shot, bro. They want to hear what you got to say.
Mm-hmm.
They'll let you do your thing, and they're going to like it or they're going to not like it. If they like it, they're going to follow you for life, man. If they like
Okay.
it, they're going to follow you for life. But they're still going to give you a chance to hear the thing. They're just not going to show up like, that's just another person doing some live music.
Mm-hmm.
They come out. They come out. They don't care if it's raining, snowing. If it's a concert, they're coming. I've done plenty of concerts in Europe, man, where it's storming
Mm-hmm.
and people still there with their umbrellas going, no, 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 we're not leaving. Put the show on. You know, you know. Now you do that in the States, man, they're gonna clear out the whole
Oh, for
place.
real? That's
Yeah,
true.
you know.
I noticed the fact that I've been in music for a long time.
Yeah,
I've done production. I played. I'm a DJ, and I played a lot of places. But
yeah, man.
you don't realize that I never really realized in the UK how big I was playing for a mainstream radio station.
Right,
And I was really informed about it, and I'm sitting back in the United States like, it's just another set, this and
right,
that.
right.
But when I was actually told, like, listen, man, you're really doing it over here, it's really
Yeah,
different.
yeah,
I've had a lot of artists that was actually here from the United States. As soon as they get off the plane, they get the red car treatment, man. And
yeah,
that's
man.
like,
Yeah.
it's love. That's really love, man.
This is why a lot of artists, man, move to Europe and they stay there
Right,
for a while because the love over there, man, is so great because they just open their arms and say, "We do your thing, man. We love you. It's
right.
live music. We like to hear the music, not just the song.
Hmm.
Give it to us. Give us what you got.
Right.
Let us, put it on the line for us." And
Okay.
and that's the great thing about it, man. I'm sorry,
All
man.
right.
I'm holding this thing trying to keep
That's
it going.
all right. That's okay, man. Any shout outs to anyone that you want to acknowledge right now?
Hey, man, I have a podcast video that comes on YouTube, Larry
Oh,
Bragg's channel, called the Old Soul Club. And my
okay.
co-host, man, we haven't been putting on shows lately because he's been ill, and
Hmm.
he's gotten better. And I just want to shout out to the Pope, Mr. Phil Redmond, my buddy, man, for over 30 years, man. He's getting well, and we hope to have the Old Soul Club back up and running because we have a blast when we're on there, man. So I just want to say hello to him. And,
Okay.
man, just my family and friends, love you guys. And to all the fans out there, man, in Europe and, wherever, man, in the world, I'm coming. It's a long time coming, but I'm
I
coming.
hear you. Well, it's been a pleasure having you on my show, man. I love the vibe. I love the strength in this relationship as far as how we're corresponding right now. And do come again, man. Come
And
again.
anytime you need me, call me. I'll be there.
Okay. And
I
this
think
has
that's
been
all.
another, yeah. And this has been another T-Lo video production, man, with my guest, Larry Braggs. Go out there and buy his single. He has a single called Long Time Coming. Go out there, get it, and share it to the world. And this has been another T-Lo video production. Stay tuned for another episode. Thank you very much.
Thank you, T-Lo.
All right now. Thank you.
All right, peace.
It's not just mine, his or her house. This is our house.
We got some fun people in the house tonight.
This is our house.
You know you don't have to wear your PT gear anymore, right?
It's comfortable.
So how's civilian life treating you?
It's fine.
When I got out, I didn't want to admit that there was anything wrong because I felt like a failure. And then I realized, there's nothing to be ashamed of. So I started talking to someone. Maybe you are fine. But if you're not, it's okay.
Thank you.
If you or a veteran you know needs support, don't wait. Reach out. Find resources at va.gov/reach.
It's not just mine, his or her house. This is our house.